We were talking about Wednesday being a little Saturday. What happens on little Saturday? Well, you party. It's happy hours. It's two for the price of one sometimes. And that's exactly what's happened today in the game. It's one innings, but it's given you the joy of two because it's gone up, it's gone down. It's been like happy hours. You thought, oh, the wickets are coming, the runs won't. And then the runs come. And then, send it at 195 for 6. That's where Hyderabad is because of a brutal assault right in the end with Shashank Singh. You haven't seen him because he's been gracing the dugout in the last few games. But today he comes out and he shows you that what he's made of. 25 of 6. He got 25 runs is what Lockie Ferguson has given in the final over of the innings. That's Lockie Ferguson. He's one of the best in the world. And that's what's taken Hyderabad to 195. For the loss of 6 wickets. I'm Gaurav Kapur. This is Cricbuzz Live. Got Pommie Mbangwa and Shaun Pollock here with me. Shaun, makes sense of that. That's just, we spoke about it in the comm box, right? It was just up and down and up and down, and it's just continued. The match just kept swinging. The pendulum kept swinging from one side to the other.
Yeah, I thought, after 15 overs, they were almost, the launching pad was set. I was thinking they'd be looking at more like a 200, and then it all just went a little bit pear-shaped. Everyone got out. The momentum kind of was lost. But then Shashank didn't Shashank anything. He absolutely middled it out the ground. And that was a brilliant performance at the back end there to get them to that score. So I think that's really competitive. I think that's a good score. As mentioned in the halftime chat, I think that surface is a lot better than what we saw in the Rajasthan game. The ball's coming on. It's not just stopping. So I think they're in the contest. They've got a good bowling lineup. And I think that's really is a good and competitive score.
It was quite interesting, Pommie. We'll pull up the innings progression again because it was the people who were scoring the best in the death overs versus the people who are being the most economical in death overs, right? And you know why they're economical? Because they take the wickets, and they took them today as well. Now, just take the 20th over away for a second. That's 25, right? So that leaves you with 30 given in 16, 17, 18, 19, and 4 wickets taken. Any captain would happily take that.
100%. And you would take it with Lockie Ferguson coming to bowl as well. Because you'd expect, with the way that he's gone in the season, with the way he went last season, and with new batters at the crease, you'd expect that he'd be able to keep it quiet. If he had an over that didn't go according to plan, he'd probably go for about 12, maybe 15, and you'd say, oh, it didn't quite work out. He didn't quite get it right. He's gone for 25. And what it says actually is right at the back end there, and it doesn't matter which team you're playing, every side has to have guys who can whack it out the park. And so every side tries to do that. You might not know that they can, and given the right circumstance, they may well be able to. I will confess to not knowing a great deal about Shashank Singh and not expecting that against Lockie Ferguson, he'd be able to take him to the cleaners as he did. And the fact that he comes in as well, before Marco Jansen, you think, oh, well, Marco Jansen can bat. And because he's an international, you think perhaps, why doesn't he go in first? Well, that's why he doesn't, because Shashank Singh could whack it. And so now when other teams come up against him, they'll kind of have to, where does he hit it? He does the ramp and he's able to whack leg side, seems to go across to the offside and actually play that way. So we need to maybe push him to the offside a little bit to see if he can do that. But it was fabulous hitting, particularly because they had lost so much momentum with all those wickets lost. And he was able to just pick it up and get them right back on track to a score, which I think they'll be very happy with.
Yeah, Shashank is, when Pommie says Lockie bowling to new batters, he's new in the sense he hasn't played a ball in this tournament before this. So he comes in complete surprise package and really ended up taking Gujarat, or Lockie particularly, to the cleaners, as Pom just said. But really good. He's striking at over 140 when it comes to domestic cricket, Shaun, but that's a different cup of tea, different kettle of fish, isn't it? Than Lockie Ferguson bowling to you at Wankhede last over of an IPL game, and you've just come in to play for the first time this season.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be the case in point, where they would almost, like, because of the way they've won the other games, that middle to low order was underdone. They had not much experience. Washington Sunder's hardly played. Shashank Singh hasn't been to the crease yet. So I thought, well, that's maybe the reason why they were going to fall away. Marco Jansen, I don't think he's had a bat as well. So that was really good striking, and it almost looked like it was going to fizzle out with 1 over to go, and then they sort of came good with that 25. So that was vitally important. I think, honestly, Hyderabad would have thought we lost a little bit there at the back end if they hadn't had an over like that. So that change will be very buoyant about that last over in particular, and that's always good when you're heading out to go and bowl to defend it.
We keep talking about the last over. Yes, that was the push. But what got them there is some brilliant batting. There was, of course, Markram. There was Abhishek. Both of them were absolutely brilliant today. Pommie, let's talk about Abhishek first.
Yeah, it's kind of been a while. Everyone's kind of been waiting for him to cut loose, haven't they? And when I say waiting, not just the season. I mean, as the seasons have gone along, talented young guy who the expectation a time ago would have been, yeah, this guy will be okay. And this season, he's put it together. He's done well. He's kind of shown that, one, he has the shots. He also has the power. He looks good playing. I mean, many times he'd play a few shots, like just a couple of shots, and then he'd be out. And you think, oof, that guy must be able to play. If he can put sort of a bit more, let's say 25 balls together, it will be pretty good. And this season, it's been good to watch him. It's been good to watch him be particularly aggressive. And today, he was so aggressive, not afraid to take on the guy who you thought, well, you know, the fast bowlers come on and you can get them away and so forth. You're playing well. But when Rashid Khan comes on, many people would sort of play in circumspect fashion. I wonder if all the knowledge about him from SRH is why there was the ability to sort of just go at him and be able to hit him in the areas they did and put him so much under pressure. I mean, how often would you have a game where Rashid Khan is wicketless and goes at tens? I don't think there are too many games.
Three sixes that Abhishek hit were all three of Rashid. He has played 15 deliveries from Rashid Khan, hit him for 34. That's not the kind of day that Rashid has, but hey, you've bowled a few seasons in the nets to Abhishek. You've had a few lunches and dinners together, a few trade secrets shared, a little analysis, and Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, I think the key is what Rashid Khan has been so brilliant at doing over the years. I mean, we're always singing his praises, and unfortunately today he's had a bit of a shocker. He's had a drop catch at backward point. He's had one at deep mid wicket where he's charged it and the ball's barely gone over from Markram, and it's also gone for 6. But it's just his length. You know, the key to Rashid is why he's been so good over the years is because he hits almost for a spinner, it's back of a length, but because of the top spin that he generates, it's a flatter delivery. And as it pitches, it almost adds a bit of pace on, so it sort of rushes onto you, much like a topspin in a tennis game. But his one area where he's not been guilty of operating has been too full. And today, to Abhishek, he just kept getting it too full. I don't know if he just didn't have his rhythm or whatever it was. But with that topspin, once it's full, that's the easy ball to hit. But he doesn't always offer up those. You know, if you get one or two of those in an entire spell, you'll be really lucky. Whereas he got 3 or 4. He even had one that could have gone, I think he went 1-6, and the next one was a full one. It was just smashed hard up the ground. So I think he'll be disappointed in this spell, the standards that he sets for himself. But Abhishek put him under enough pressure.
His third worst today, actually, in all these seasons. He's gone for 55 once against Punjab, for 49 once against Chennai. Those were both back in 2018. But since then, he's been your bank. And today, none for 45. That's what he's gone for. Look at what Loki Ferguson has gone for. Yeah.
If you look there, you can see 2 dot balls. I mean, that doesn't often happen. That never happens with Rashid. He's always stringing something together.
Yeah.
And the big thing about that, I think, is the partnership. So the fact that it's only 2 dot balls means that Markram at the other end is making sure he's not getting bogged down, and therefore is allowing Abhishek to absolutely go at him. And 96 from 61, it really was an aggressive partnership, and with kind of all of Rashid in there. So it worked perfectly for them, because it's still actually the period where they're trying to set up the platform. I'll say, whilst I did say right when we started this, a total they'll be happy with, I don't think they'll be happy with the way they played the last bit, because having set it up with that partnership, they didn't actually capitalize on it. They could have got more runs than they did. And I say that, and you sort of say, oh, 25 off the last, and what could they? 4 wickets in that period, not ideal. And so it stopped them a long way, and they essentially were just rescued at the back end by the over of 25.
True. We have a question on Ask Cricbuzz Live. Our viewers send in questions quite regularly, and we love to go through them and pull them out. And here, Sujit Kumar is asking, 3 out of 4 pacers in Hyderabad starting 11, Bhuvi, Natarajan and Umran have all made their case for India starting 11 in the T20 World Cup. Who out of these 3 will be most effective in Australia? Oh, it's World Cup chat. Hasn't happened for a while here on Cricbuzz Live. Yeah, what do you know? Polly, you want to go first? Pick one. Come on.
I'll go first. Who will be most effective? I think Bhuvi would probably be the most effective, because he'll like the conditions where he can shape it and swing it and do the thing. But I don't think any of those 3 start in your Indian starting lineup for me. I'm going Shami, I'm going Bumrah, and I'm going Prasid. I think those 3 have been the key, and I think they'll be the ones that perform. So of the 3, I think Bhuvi would do the best. And Natarajan played there, and I think he made his debut, in fact, in T20 cricket in Australia. And he'll do a job as the death bowler, and I think Bhuvi would get the most shape. So that would be my answer, but I still don't think they make my top 3.
Pom, for you?
Yeah, look, I think it would be quite nice to unleash Umran Malik, because the wickets are quicker, and it'd be nice to see the keeper stand a million miles back. And if he could just get the license to go ahead and do it, just run up and bowl fast and be used the right way, which is sort of the middle overs predominantly, and then depending on what's left at the back end, so as you can have all the protection, and hopefully the wickets are gone down. That'd be quite nice, but they're not it's not something new. If they see pace, maybe not pace quite like that, but it's not something new when teams see pace, particularly in Australia. But it'll be fun. In terms of who's most effective, it's about adjustments. What do you want? Do you want up at the front? Do you want swing? Do you want a guy who can kind of bowl in all the different phases? Natarajan goes well up front and really well at the back end. And I think Bhuvi goes all the way through, even though he's not used a whole lot. Like in the middle, he's not used, but he can. He can work sort of 2-1-1 or 1-1-1-2, whichever way you want to do it. In terms of form, you'd have to go into the middle, actually. And Natarajan's been picking up wickets and bowling economically. He's got a really good Yorker, and he's left arm to complement whoever the other guys are whom you might pick. So
what I would say about him is most improved in the first 6. I mean, we know his death skills, and he's been able to do those brilliantly. But we've seen a couple of great deliveries, like, a couple of balls shaping back. Think of the last match he played, that the one he shaped back, hit the top of off stump. I think he's gone away and thought, how can I be a bit more effective at that time? And you can see there's 6 wickets up front. So he is the most improved and the left-arm option. But I still don't think he's in my top 3.
He's not at all. But what it says though, and it's a nice question.
Competition.
Yeah, it says competition galore, because there are other guys who, Umran's one of those. There are other guys who haven't played for India, who many are going, oh, what about this guy? What about Yash Dal? What about Kuldeep Sen? These guys who have pace, who have bounce, they're big guys, and they're bowling really quickly and putting players who are quite good under pressure with their pace. And not just pace all over the place, but nicely directed as well, and doing good jobs for their various franchises. So it's nice to see. And if you're an Indian selector, well, you've got a job here, because choose the correct one. It's not going to be so easy.
It's a happy problem to have, and it's not ours, so it's even happier then. It's somebody else's issue. All right, there's 196 to get for Gujarat. Do they have the batters to do it? Well, they do have quite a decent batting lineup. You've got Shubman Gill up front. He's due some runs now. We've seen, a couple of good innings from him in this tournament. There's Ridhiman Saha. He's going to come out all guns blazing. The captain, followed by David Miller, Abhinav Manohar, Rahul Tewatia, Rashid Khan. We saw him win one game with the bat. Let's see if he can get his helicopters out today, get some rhythm in the batting. He didn't have it while he was bowling. And of course, on the other side, a very frugal bowling lineup to try and stop them, with, of course, Washington Sundar being the addition coming in place of Suchit. So he's fit today, and he comes back after missing a few games. And, of course, the bowlers we just spoke about in the question, there's Bhuvi, Umran and Natarajan, and then you have Marco Jansen, the tall South African, who's going to be helping them. And you've got some balls coming in from Shashank Singh, perhaps a couple of overs, maybe Aiden Markram. Abhishek Sharma can roll his arm over. So Kane Williamson has his hands full with choices. Gentlemen, hashtag feels. Which side are you leaning toward? It's a big chase, this one, but it's a small ground.
I'm leaning towards the side batting first.
Oh, Hyderabad, all right. Excellent. So,
I think Gujarat have had their luck, haven't they? They've got over the line 3 or 4 times in squeaky games where they've had guys deliver. I'm not convinced that batting lineup is strong enough. So I'm thinking today they show us that they aren't strong enough and they fall short.
Oh, all right. So both Pommie and Polly are calling it for Hyderabad. Who are you calling it for? Let us know. Hashtag Cricbuzz Live. We'd love to hear from you. In the meanwhile, we're going to scoop. We're going to get out of here, right? We're going to see you at the end of the 10th over with Cricbuzz. Box 196 for Gujarat to win. Well, they go top of the table, right? If they win, let's have a look. Yes, they do. They jump to 14 points and they go top of the table if they can win this one. And Hyderabad, well, they go top of the table too if they win it, because their net run rate is healthier than Rajasthan. So this one for gold is going for gold here on Little Saturday. What is it? Little Saturday, Polly? Mini Saturday?
Little Saturday.
This is the big guns on Little Saturday. We'll see you on Cricbuzz Box and then on Cricbuzz Live at the end of the game. Thank you to Pommie and Polly. I'm GK. See you in a bit.